any costumes to the list. "You okay?" I grunted. Mac waved me off and shut the door whisper quiet. "Don't want to wake. What's his face?" She gave me a guilty look for not remembering her groomsman's name. Mac, unlike me, cared about such things. "Come on," I whispered back. "Our flight leaves in 90 minutes, and we still have to sprint the entire length of the castle to our rooms, pack our shit, and Uber to the airport." "Crap," Mac said, scooping her giant teapot costume into her arms for better aerodynamics. "And we have to say goodbye to Daisy, too." She took off, and I scurried after her, hiding my eye roll so Mac couldn't see. Screw Daisy. When she'd asked me to be a bridesmaid, I'd been shocked and instantly filled with guilt over the fact that I'd clearly meant more to her than she'd meant to me. I'd written her such a gushing email. "Wow, Daisy, of course I accept. 1,000 times yes." Now, teetering across the hotel lobby while people turned to stare, I began to suspect I'd actually done something grievously wrong to Daisy in college, and she'd waited 7 long years to exact her revenge. A long con. I could almost admire it. We burst out of the hotel's ornate double doors into the appallingly bright Florida sunshine and froze, cowed by the sight before us. There were people everywhere. Worse than people. Families. Of course there were, because we were smack dab in the middle of the Magic Kingdom on a perfectly clear Sunday morning in September, and it had been so long since I'd been thoroughly and publicly humiliated. So, where else would they be? As Mac and I stood there, dozens of small heads swung in our direction. A high voice yelled, "Mommy, it's Beauty and the Beast!" "Oh, Christ," I muttered, shielding my face, as if it was that and not the yellow ball gown giving me away. "This way!" Mac pointed in the direction of Cinderella Castle, a vast expanse of white stone and blue spires. Once again, I cursed Daisy, whose dedication to fairy tale romance meant she'd insisted on getting married right in front of the damn thing. I didn't have time to list the reasons her obsession with fairy tales and true love was ridiculous, foolhardy, and 100% going to lead to her eventual heartbreak. At the moment, the only thing I cared about was that Daisy's absurd old-fashionedness meant the groomsmen and bridesmaids had been booked in separate hotels, divided by the longest gauntlet of child-filled castle grounds I'd ever witnessed in my, admittedly, castle and child-light life. "Mommy, I want to hug Mrs. Potts," came another child's voice, disconcertingly close. "Of course, honey," someone answered pleasantly. "Let's go ask her very nicely." Mac and I turned to find a mom tugging her tiny son toward us. The mom looked up, catching our eyes. I could only imagine the full picture of what she saw, since I'd been unable to examine myself in a mirror before sneaking out of the footman's room. But Mac? Oh God, Mac's mascara had shifted downward to make little raccoon rings around her eyes. Her pink lipstick smeared from what I hoped was hours of high-quality making out. Her teapot costume, now that I really looked, was on ass backward, Mrs. Potts's face grinning creepily from her back. I searched my own body with mounting dread. No, my dress was on the right way, at least, but I could feel my hair hanging in messy strands out of my elaborate bell bun, and I was sure, from what I remembered doing with the footman last night, that my face looked at least as bad as Mac's. "Oh, honey, actually, that's not the real Mrs. Potts," said the mother quickly. She shook her head at us and covered her son's eyes. "We are so sorry. We were forced to wear these costumes. I beg not to." Mac wrung her hands with regret. Unfortunately, her confession reeked of some sort of Disney-themed S&M plot, and only made the mom twist her son around and hurry him away. Mac deflated inside her bulky teapot. Now that innocent children were involved, she'd clearly reached her limit for personal debasement, which, as someone who'd witnessed her dating life since college, was saying a lot. Using precious seconds, I surveyed the scene. Even though the mom and her son had run away from us, their reaction didn't seem to be stopping the rest of the families from believing Mac and I were Disney World employees, here to entertain them as Mrs. Potts and Belle. They were crowding in on us from every direction, drawing closer like a tightening noose. I may live according to my own moral code, what traditionalists might